Centuries ago, a Greek temple called Serapeum in Alexandria got destroyed by a Christian group in 391. Afterward, people started talking about a special thing that was in the temple. Instead of the main statue of the Serapis cult, which was a big, fancy statue covered in jewels, people were more interested in a plain statue of the Greek sun god Helios. This statue, made completely of iron, was rumored to float above the temple floor. An early writer named Tyrannius Rufinus said the iron sun statue was cleverly made. He thought it floated because of a magnet in the ceiling. Some people think it might have been a trick, like a hidden chain, because Alexandria was known for clever inventors who made things like doors that opened by themselves for temples. In ancient times, there were stories about statues floating because of magnets. The Roman historian Pliny the Elder talked about it and had different ideas on how magnets could make statues seem to float. One story he mentioned was about a statue of Pharaoh Ptolemy II's wife in Alexandria. As time passed, the story of the floating Helios statue changed. Christian historians like Augustine and Quodvoltdus had different ideas about it. They thought the statue was used to trick people into believing in magic and false gods. They believed the creators of these statues knew they were lying and tried to deceive others. We may never know if the Serapeum Helios statue really floated or how it was done. But even today, we can't prove or disprove stories about statues floating, and it reminds us that some ancient knowledge is lost over time. The Jyotirlingas are of great religious significance for the Hindus. There are 12 Jyotirlinga temples spread over India and are the most prominent among the other Shiva temples for the pilgrims. The Somnath temple at Gujarat is believed to be the first among the 12. The first structure of the Somnath temple is believed to be constructed by the moon god himself. However, the date of its erection is lost in antiquity. The present-day structure was built in 1995. The Somnath temple is popular all around the world for its legendary levitating idol, the Somnath Jyotirlinga. The idol used to float in mid-air without any support. No doubt the architect was pretty skillful in his work. Let me unveil the secret behind this so-called floating Jyotirlinga. The Somnath temple also fell at the hands of Mahmud, when he destroyed the whole structure of the temple during his invasion in 1025 AD. He expected this would result in the Hindus becoming the Mohammedans. 50,000 Hindus were killed who stood against the temple demolition and being converted to Islam. He ordered his men to seize all the treasures, which were worth 20 million dinars then. It involved precious jewels and vessels made of gold and silver. Next up, his attention turned towards the Jyotirlinga or the Somnath idol, which was floating in the air right between the roof and the floor. Mahmud and his attendants were perplexed by the sight. He asked his attendants what to do with it and how come it levitated in mid-air. All expressed their opinions. Some said the idol was held in the air by invisible support. Mahmud asked one of his attendants to examine whether there was an invisible element which held the lingam in the air, but failed to find any. It was then one guy came up with an interesting fact. He said to the king that the canopy of the idol was made of lodestones, magnetite, and the idol itself is made of iron. This pretty much summed up the science behind the floating idol. Some say Mahmud threw his sword towards the canopy on hearing this, and to their surprise, the sword stuck on the canopy. The canopy was indeed a permanent magnet and held the iron linga with its magnetic force. The mysterious floating statue of Bhutan. Known as the Land of the Thunder Dragon, the tiny Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan, which formally opened up to tourism in 1974, is no ordinary place. A land of myths and mysteries, monks and monasteries, the enchanting nation of happiness will not fail to impress visitors with its pristine environment, rich cultural heritage. Located in the district of Poro, western Bhutan, lies Champhu Nai, a scared site which is about 90 minutes drive from town. The hike to the Champhu monastery normally takes about 3 hours. What lies in the shrine room is something which defies logic and science. The mysterious floating statue of Dorji Phagmo, Diamond So. Also known as Vajravarahi, this gravity-defying statue was rumored to have been discovered at the lake above the monastery. The Dorji Phagmo is believed to be an incarnation of Dolma, Tara, the divine consort of Shenrezig, Buddha of compassion. Originally smaller in size, it was said that it has miraculously grown to the present size on its own. Unlike any other statues, the Dorji Phagmo was not sculpted by human hands. Perhaps the most shocking revelation any visitors are going to see right before their very eyes is that this statue is really floating. In case you think that your eyes are playing tricks on you, the caretaker of the monastery will prove to each and every visitor that the statue is indeed floating by moving a scarf or money, paper note, back and forth under the statue. The only way to witness such a bizarre and astounding sight is to make a trip to Champhu Nai in person. We may never know the technology used by these ancient people. Also worth mentioning is the Lipakshi temple and its floating pillar. The hanging pillar is a bit dislodged from its original position. A British engineer tried to move it in an unsuccessful attempt to uncover the secret of its support, and this is the reason behind this shift. Famous for its age-old shrines, Lipakshi is steeped in mythological grandeur. According to the Valmiki Ramayana, it is believed that this was the place where Ram had met the dying Jatayu and had helped him achieve salvation by uttering the words, Lipaksha, or rise, O bird, in Telugu. One big mystery at the Lipakshi temple is how the hanging pillar was constructed or carved. While 69 other pillars support the ceiling, one corner pillar does not touch the temple floor at all. So what do you think? Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.